everyone, it's Brittany here with Awanari Experience, and in previous videos you've heard us talking about the Morphomuson caterpillar, which is this little one right here, and how they eat the tips of the leaves first because then it acts as camouflage for them because they then kind of look like a little bit of a dead leaf. But as I was taking care of our caterpillars today, it got me to thinking, I wonder if there's not a secondary purpose for eating or preferring the tips of the leaves. So let me kind of explain my thinking here with that. So with koalas prefer the tips of their eucalyptus leaves as well, or like the really new shoots. And funny enough, the tips of those eucalyptus leaves are actually going to be they're going to have a higher concentration of toxicity in them. But yet for koalas, it's totally fine because, long story, the babies eat the mama's poo and that gives them the proper gut biome. And then as adults, they're able to eat that tip of the leaf. Obviously, caterpillars aren't going to be they're not eating mama butterfly's poop because they don't even know who mama butterfly is. But I wonder if by eating the tips of the Pichuwayu plant, if the Pichuwayu plant doesn't have a toxicity in it, and then that makes the caterpillars themselves a little more toxic, and then a predator isn't going to want to eat them. I'm going to have to do some research on that. I don't know how we can really conduct an experiment down here to learn that because I don't have the science equipment to be able to draw blood or anything like that for a caterpillar down here. But I wonder if other scientists haven't discovered something along those lines. So when I get back to our house, I will check to see what Google has to say on the matter of Pichuwayu plants and the Morphomuson, and I will get back to you guys. Okay, hi everyone. I am back from checking Google and the internet, the great wide web, to see what all I could find about in regards to my theory. So this here, the Morphomuson caterpillar, their scientific name is the Archaeprepona. I think I'm saying that right. So yeah, that's their scientific name. These caterpillars, they feed on plants that are from the Lauraceae tree or laurels, the Amonacea and Malpighiaceae families of plants, which in general terms are cinnamon trees, sweetwood trees, and avocado plants. So I don't know if you guys know, but cinnamon plants and the laurel plant families are generally safe in moderation, but can be toxic in large quantities. So the sassafras plant is in one of those families that I mentioned, and I know sassafras is also, toxic in certain areas of the plant. But anyway, primarily though, their primary host plant is going to be the laurels or the Lauraceae plants, and those are actually highly poisonous. And I'm pretty sure that's what these Pichuwayu plants are. Pichuwayu is the Spanish word. I don't know how to spell that. And I don't know what the name of this tree would be in English. And when I tried to Google Lens image search this plant, just a ton of stuff came up. But I'm pretty sure this plant is part of the laurel family and not like one of the other families that I had mentioned, because that seemed like that was the most accurate picture description, but I couldn't figure out the exact English name for this tree, so bear with me with that. But the laurel plants are actually highly adaptable, which has led to a long evolutionary journey in this plant's defense system. They have phytochemicals, and those phytochemicals are very numerous and diverse. The laurel plants and their associated caterpillars have a history of coevolution, meaning that over time, the caterpillars larvae have developed ways to overcome the plant's defenses and to utilize it as a food source. So, okay, they're utilizing the plant's toxicity for their own beneficial gain, which is great. There's a little pre-pupa right there to show you guys. Let's see, what else did I find? Caterpillars can ingest the oils and the volatile compounds of these plants and even incorporate them into their own bodies as a defense against predators. So ding, 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 my theory was correct. Now, I couldn't find anything specifically on whether like the tip of the laurel plants were more toxic than like the rest of it. I could not find any information on that, no matter how hard I tried to in-depth research that. But again, at least now we've discovered that these plants are actually toxic, and the caterpillars have co-evolved with these plants to be able to utilize that toxicity as part of their defense mechanism. So camouflage, like that guy there, it's not really like picking up on the camera here super well because he's so small. But this guy right here, he's camouflaging, as well as the green caterpillars that start to turn into the pre-pupas. Where did I just see one? Oh, they blend in so well, I can't find it again. But yeah, so defense mechanism, which is great. With this coevolution, what else? Relationships. Okay, with this coevolution relationships, the caterpillars adapt to utilize the plant's defenses, while the plants evolve new defenses against those caterpillars. So the plants are constantly evolving, and the caterpillars are then constantly evolving to adapt to the plants' new evolutions. So that's just crazy. And that is exactly what coevolution is all about. You know, evolving and then adjusting and evolving again as new things are becoming more adaptable to those defense mechanisms. So cool, so crazy. I'm so glad that we went into this deep dive on the Morphomuson. That's actually the butterfly right there. That's what those little caterpillars turn into. And on the inside of those wings is actually blue because they are part of that blue Morpho family. So cool. If anybody wants me to deep dive into any other species that we have down here or just any other species elsewhere, let me know in the comment section. I am more than happy to do that because truthfully, this was actually very, very interesting to try to figure out, you know, some of our scientific thoughts. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Bye for now.